Kazi imesimama, ni kukaa tu. Kwa hivyo hata naona matajiri wanaweza kukasirika wakatafuta kazi.
He wants to rely more on irrigation systems for farming in opposed to directly relying on rainfall, such that even when rains don't fall, our people still eat.
Kama tutategemea sehemu yenye mvua peke yake kukuza chakula Kenya, tutaendelea kuwa na balaa ya ukosefu wa chakula.
Good afternoon everyone. It's morning for me, but afternoon by the time you get this video. And I'm super happy today, as you can see, because President Ruto's bottom-up economy strategy is thriving and is going to revolutionize our economy. And I'm so excited to be at the forefront of this new revolution. Today I'm going to analyze how he's taking over the importation, tourism and other industries, as well as addressing the drought crisis that I was fundamentally worried about yesterday. Now, if this is the kind of analysis that you like and you're new to this channel, consider hitting the subscribe and push bell notification buttons for such videos every single Monday to Friday. Sometimes we even upload twice. We're on the grind in Hustlers Nation. Anyways, yesterday something remarkable has happened, which is the reason for this smile on my face. The KPA, the Kenya Port Authority, has reversed its order on cargo clearance being mandatory with the use of the SGR, which means since 2019, when they banned it because, you know, they took a 450 billion shilling debt from the Chinese, a lot of money was leaked through corruption, and in the process of trying to recuperate and reassemble that lost funds, they made it mandatory that every single person importing goods must use the SGR instead of private shuttles, buses and cargo trucks. Now in the process, it was such a detrimental thing as hundreds of truck drivers lost their jobs.
Kazi imesimama, ni kukaa tu. Kwa hivyo hata naona matajiri wanaweza kukasirika wakatafuta kazi kama itaendelea namna hii. Watakubali watu wakule pesa yao bure? Haiwezekani.
You say that we will create over 5,000 jobs per year, and now you are freezing 1,000 jobs per hour.
And take the instance of Mr. Abdi Awale, sorry if I mispronounced his name, who owned over 20 lorries, and he had invested all his life savings into this capital, and they had to lay idle. He had to pay for it to be parked, he had to pay for its security, but he could not trade simply because the government was inefficient, and as a result, they had to put the punishment back on the public sector. And this is beautiful, as the chairman of the Kenya Transport Association, Mr. Newton Wangu, said the SGR should compete with the local private sector to be equally as competitive. I mean, think about it. Why should a system that's less effective and less efficient be the one to travel, you know? Now, this gives us freedom to traders. This is because we can use the lower cost option instead of the monopoly, which is the SGR. For example, the SGR costs you 1,000 shillings per ton or per freight or whatever, and the private sector is offering you the same at 500. This enables us as an economy to have lower prices, making us more competitive and stronger for the world economy. This was a brilliant move to helping the private sector, which is more efficient, and giving opportunities to these hundreds of people who have lost their jobs and businesses that were idle. Good on you, Mr. Ruto. In further good news, Kenya's tourism industry is picking up. After fears of post-election and the effects of the pandemic, finally hotels are seeing an over 60% occupancy rate from the previous 40%. This tells us one thing. As an economy, we should appreciate peace is more powerful than war. Just because of how afraid people were of the issues that occurred in 2007, it left the tourism industry quite idle at only a 40% occupancy rate, less than half just a month ago. But anyways, we've learned from our lessons and we can see things going forward really efficiently. On the darker side, due to the rise in fuel costs. As you know, this causes inflation. Everything is becoming more expensive, including accommodation rates. But that being said, with the current growth rates and the confidence we have in the Ruto regime, we can estimate by 2024, just 2 years away from now, Kenya's tourism sector can reach an all-time high to post-pandemic time. Furthermore, yesterday I am super happy as the President of our nation, Dr. William Ruto, addressed the issues of famine in this country. To start off with, he has agreed to send over 50 trucks with 20,000 bags of rice, bean and oil to various parts of the 29 affected counties. But what I love about this is he understands this is not a long-term solution and only a short-term one. As they say, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but teach him how to eat a fish and he'll live forever. And based on that premise, he's addressed that this is what he wants, but he only wants us to be doing such donations as the last time in this country, because part of our post-colonialist times, it's actually shameful that as a country we cannot feed ourselves. And he has pledged to putting measures into place into recovering this situation such that it never prevails. For example, and great minds think alike. The way I mentioned in yesterday's video, with such resources, we're able to put better irrigation systems so we're not directly reliant on rainfall, and we can further subsidize other sectors such as grain and fertilizers. He wants to rely more on irrigation systems for farming in opposed to directly relying on rainfall, such that even when rains don't fall, our people still eat.
Kama tutategemea sehemu yenye mvua peke yake kukuza chakula Kenya, tutaendelea kuwa na balaa ya ukosefu wa chakula. Lazima tuanze kufikiria vile tutatumia sehemu kame kupitia kwa unyunyizaji maji.
Furthermore, he's putting measures into place where he'll buy weaker animals from the farmers as part of the government during times of drought. And my absolute favorite part of all, him working closely with the private sector to ensure the free moving of water. Now, why I love that he's moving away from monopolies of the government dealing in water to the private sector, it enables us to become more competitive as an economy and enjoy lower prices of water, such that farming becomes an easy breezy piece of cake. And let's not forget he subsidizes on fertilizer, which is making farming even more cheaper. Agriculture being the heart of this economy, I just love how he's addressed the issue and he's taking action. We can already see with less than a week of him being back into the country, some drastic changes have been made. Is this just propaganda, or will our economy move forward in the way I'm optimistic about? For you to find out, hit the subscribe button, hit the push bell notification button, and leave a comment down below on any issues you feel I have not addressed or want me to elaborate on further. I'm super happy now. Let me get back to my hustle and grind in this beautiful nation, and for now, as usual, peace.